Hi guys, Steph here. Right, today I'm going to show you how to repair a leaky PFM fountain pen. First of all, what do we need? As you can hear in the background, first of all, put on your favourite radio station or your favourite music. We'll just shut up so you can hear. There we go. But for this demonstration, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off my music. There we go. So hopefully you can hear me now. So yeah, what do we need? Get a little bit of music in the background, obviously, just to relax you. What we also need is our leaking fountain pen, our Sheaffer PFM. Let's put that to one side. A little jug or something with a bit of water in it. This blue tack, we'll show you why in a moment. Obviously get yourself a loop so you can see what you're doing. What we also need is a syringe. Pop that to one side. We need a little tool for removing the section of the for the nib, and last but not least we need the, there we go, the substance that we're going to use. And what we've got here is Captain Tolly's penetrating sealant, and this stuff, excellent stuff it is. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop my glasses on behind the camera and read to you what it actually says at the top here. Penetrating sealant for leaks from hairline cracks. Finds its way inside cracks by capillary action for use with wood, glass, rubber, metals, perspex, fiberglass, ceramics, concrete, some plastics, polystyrene, anywhere around the home, boat or caravan. Okay, and then underneath we've got the directions, we've got some precautions, etc. So that's the substance that we're going to use to repair our pen. So there we have it. That's basically everything that we need. As I said, we need our PFM fountain pen. So nice and simply, let's take the cap off. And for you people that watch my videos on a regular basis, you will see that I've done a lot of these pens, how to restore them, etc., and how to do certain repairs and services on them. So if you're interested in them, go and have a look. But in this case here, what you'll find in some cases, some people get a PFM, they're away writing with them, and all of a sudden they find that they've got ink on the fingers, and they say, oh no, my PFM is broken, or it's cracked, or whatever. Well, yeah, it may be cracked, but in most cases what you'll find is that the ink is leaking underneath the nib itself. Okay, now these nibs here, by no means do not attempt to take the nib off, because they're actually, I'll show you in a moment, they're crimped inside, and they're actually, Sheaffer used some sort of a sealant to install the nibs. And I think what actually happens over the years, the sealant deteriorates or whatever, it has some sort of gaps there, and that creates leakage to the nib area. And again, what you'll find is when you're writing, or in some cases you'll get inky fingers, and the ink is actually leaking from underneath the nib itself. It doesn't happen very often. I don't see it very often, but in this particular instance, my friend Alan, who we've done videos of his collection, if you're interested in them, go and have a look. He got this pen in. Unfortunately, he found that it was leaking. He gave it to me and said, Steph, can you please take a look at it? So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at it and we're going to repair it. So nice and simply, let's get on with it. What we need to do, in some cases you may have to heat this area here with dry heat. In some cases they're actually, the barrel is sealed onto the section, but what we've done all that for you. So what we're going to do, we're going to simply unscrew the barrel like so. What I'm also going to do, right, I've come slightly unprepared. I don't know what I've done with it. There it is. Oops. Okay, I've got a little plastic container. What I'm going to do, get yourself a plastic container, put all the parts in it like so. So what we've done, we've took the barrel off. Now you need to take the snorkel and the sap protector, just simply remove it like so. Pop that in your container. What you'll find is a little clutch ring here, which in normal circumstances just, right, what we'll do, we'll just leave it on for a moment. So what we need to do now is actually remove this threaded, the feed from within the section. Now in this case here, let's try and show it to you. What you'll find is it actually has a sort of squared off section inside. You can see it's got 4 of these little sort of ridges inside there. Okay, there you go, there's a better view for you. So what you need to do is remove that threaded section and the feed from the section itself, and in that case what you need is a square tool. This is one that I made myself, and what we do, we install that inside there like so, and very gently. And once again, in some cases you may need to heat this area here. Again, in a lot of cases the threads are sealed onto the section. Excuse me. So we've already done that. It's already been cleaned for this, for the demonstration purposes. So what we do, we simply unscrew like so, and there's the threaded connector. Okay, so we'll take that off, pop that in your little container, don't lose it, pop the tool to one side, and what we need to do is just simply push down onto the feed, and again don't lose this this chrome washer here, or stainless steel washer. Pop that into the container, and again there we go, that's the feed inside the section. So pop that inside the container as well, pop a lid on that so you don't lose it, and pop that to one side until you've finished your repair. So what we've got here nice and simply now is a Sheaffer PFM section with the inlaid nib like so. So it's just all one piece. You can see, we can see all the way through it there. Now, as I said, what happens is the ink leaks from inside, obviously, and if I actually hold it up like so, I'm hoping you can see just to the right hand side there. In fact, what I'll do, let me bring on my little light, and if we shine that inside for you. Okay, is it on? Yes, it's on. Alright, well again, looking into my camera, it doesn't look like it's actually, you can see it, but I'm hoping in some cases it is actually visible. But what you'll see just to the sort of the right hand side inside there, you'll see there's a little crimp, and that also applies if I turn it round like so, find it for you. Okay, and again there you go, you can see inside there's, on the other side there's a little crimp inside the section there. So let's pop that to one side. So in effect what we've got these 2 crimps inside the section, and in effect what it is, it's actually the nib that is crimped to the section. The rest of the nib, as I said, had some sort of a sealant applied to it. Again, do not attempt to take the nib off. You will break it. So what we're doing, we just need to seal the nib or seal underneath the nib. And the way we do that, we get our syringe, we get our little needle like so. Obviously be very careful. This is a sharpened needle to the end of the syringe, so be very careful. Let's get our Captain Tollies, this lovely magical liquid. Let's take the top off. Let's pop the syringe inside, and let's draw some liquid. Okay, let's get the cap, pop that back on again like so, and there we have it. We've got, basically that may be more than enough. You can see the liquid, and you can see the liquid is actually like a milky colour. And the lovely thing about this sealant, it does dry totally transparent, and it dries over, you have to leave it over 24 hours. So enough of the chat. What I'm going to do, very difficult because I'm working at arm's length over the camera. So if it looks a bit of a rough job, yeah, it may be. But in normal circumstances, I would be doing this work very close up, and obviously using the loop. Okay, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you over the camera. And what I like to do is get my blue tack. I like to get the section and just pop it onto the blue tack, and that will just hold it in place. And what I'm doing, I'm just trying to get the area which is actually the nib adjoining to the section to the top there. And as it says on the bottle, it works by capillary action, and in effect what it'll do is actually wick into any gaps inside. Now before I do it, because I'm not going to show you all the procedures, what we'll do, we'll show you the first procedure. But in effect what I will be doing, I will apply a bead along the edge of the nib there, a bead along the other edge of the nib, and then I will leave that to dry for 24 hours. After that I will come back, and then I will add a little bit of this sealant to the crimp, as you can see there, and then obviously to the other side I will add some of the sealant to that crimp there. Once again, it will actually work by capillary, and if there's any gaps, it will fill them gaps. So we'll fill the top area, leave 24 hours to dry. I will then do the two crimps, leave for 24 hours, and then last but not least, I'll give it one more bead along the right and the left hand side of the nib, leave for 24 hours, and that will cure the problem. So as I said, let's get on with it. So before I do that, I've got a cloth here on my knee. I'm going to dip it in the water to my right hand side here, because what we need to do is wipe off any excess sealant with a damp cloth before it dries. So enough of the chat, let's get on with it. You need very steady hands. Make sure we've got it in the correct position, and there we go. So what I'm doing, I'm adding a little bead. Let's turn it slightly so we can see there. Okay, as you can see, I'm using a little hand, my other hand, to guide myself. I'm going to turn it slightly to the other side. Do the same on the other side from the very tip, if you like. Just add a little, there we go, a little blob, it doesn't matter. I'm just adding a little bead. There we go, and that's all we need. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tap it very lightly. Okay, don't tap it too hard, because again, you don't want to break the section. And by tapping it, what it'll do, hopefully it'll just find its own way, find any gaps, and again by wicking and capillary action it will fill them gaps. So let's put the sealant to one side. Let me find my damp cloth. It says here, I can't find the area that I've actually dampened, but there we go, there it is. Okay, so there you go. You can see we've spilt some over. It doesn't really matter. You can see the rest there has sort of disappeared. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it a wipe, move my finger across. Again, using a damp cloth. Okay, and a little bit more. And then let's take a little bit of a dry section, turn it round, and again any excess that dries we can wipe off with terps or white spirit. So there we go. Okay, so although we've wiped it off, it looks like there's nothing there, but in effect what will happen, it hopefully would have wicked into any areas that there's any areas that are missing, any holes, etc. And that is it just for now. Let me just, looking over the camera, just a little bit at the top there that I need to wipe off. But that's basically it. I'm going to leave that now for 24 hours. As I'm talking to you, I can see little bits that I'm not happy with. Make sure that I'm happy with what I'm doing, because we want to do a good job, obviously. So there we have it. We're going to leave that now for 24 hours. As I said before, what I'm going to do then, I'm not going to do it on camera because the procedure is exactly the same. I'm going to go over that particular area again, leave that for 24 hours once again, then I'm going to come in and add the same sealant to the crimp on that side and add it on the crimp. Basically add the sealant to both crimps on both sides. Once again, leave that for 24 hours, and then what we'll do, we'll come back, put the pen back together, and that should be it. So for now, we'll leave it at that, let's everything dry. In fact, what I'm going to do, just to show you the liquid and how it dries, if you like, I'm going to add, let's add a little bit onto this plastic container. Okay, there we go. Okay, you can see it's sort of, first of all, it's this white colour. There you go. So it's like a white colour. The rest of it we're going to put back in the bottle, but it's a white colour. And again, what I'm going to do is leave that to dry for 24 hours, and then when we come back you'll see how it actually looks then. So for now, I'll just say bye bye for now, and we'll see you in part 2. So here we are, approximately about 48 hours later, and what we've done, we've applied 2 applications to the top there of the sealant as we saw earlier, and we've applied 2 applications to the lugs or the crimps that you can see inside there. So everything after 24 hours is fully cured. Now this morning what you'll find when you're doing this, you'll find some of the sealant overruns, it spills, you've not wiped it off properly when you're applying it, and you'll get little sort of blotches or whatever. And what I've done, I've wiped it all over with methylated spirits. Now don't get methylated spirits, don't make it very runny, because in effect what you'll do is sort of reverse the work that you've done and remove the sealant. Put it on a cloth, your methylated spirits on the cloth, allow it to dry, literally allow it to evaporate, and it's basically near as damn it a dry cloth that you're using. And what we did, we simply wiped off any remnants of the sealant, we gave it a little bit of a polish. So there you go, you can see everything is lovely and clean, and hopefully now is fully sealed, and any gaps that we had that were causing the leaks hopefully now are actually filled, and even the lugs, as I say, inside have been sealed, so everything should be now hunky-dory. Now what I also did, I showed you we put a little bit of a blob of the sealant to the corner there, and you can see there how it's now actually dried and it's cured. As you can see, it's totally see-through, which is absolutely brilliant. So you can see it there in the corner, fully cured and fully see-through. So that's how it actually dries. So all we need to do now is get our little container with the little bits that we need. Let's pop them to one side like so. Let's pop that there, pop that there. And is there anything else that we need? I don't think so. So what we need to do, first of all, get the feed, align that correctly into the hood or the section, and you can actually just pop that, push it into place a little bit. Next we need what we term as the rubber point seal there, which sits on the top there. Okay, once we've done that, we need this little stainless steel washer. We pop that to the top there, just give it a little bit of a knockdown like so. There we go. Then we get the clutch ring, make sure we've got it the right way, and you can see you've got these little ridges, and they sort of take the clutch ring like so. Last but not least, get the connector, screw it on as far as it'll go, hand tight. For me personally, I will apply some sealant to the connector, but as I say, this is going back to Alan, so whichever way he decides to do it, that's up to him. I would apply some sealant inside to the thread, but again, we screw it down hand tight, get our tool, again we've got these little ridges like so, pop your tool inside and just, there you go, half a turn or whatever, just tighten it hand tight. Get the snorkel with the sap protector, present that inside the hole. Sometimes just a little bit difficult. There we go, it's in there. Okay, so you'll feel some resistance. That is the point seal inside, which is quite correct. Let's get the barrel. You can see we've got the spring inside there. Screw that into place. Okay, all the way home, and there we have it. Turn the knob to the end so the snorkel tube goes all the way home in there like so, and there we have it, all put back together, ready to go. All we need now is the cap. pop that out of the way, and there we have it, a Sheaffer PFM fountain pen, and that's how we repair the leak to the nib when it's leaking. Let's leave it at that. So I hope that's been useful to you. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave a comment below, subscribe as well, don't forget to subscribe, and if you possibly can, down below, please support my work. But for now, I'll just say bye bye for now.